architectures. I currently work as a SOA architect. I am Oracle SOA certified, and I was one of the first members of Oracle SOA product team in Oracle who started with the concept of SOA. Before that, Oracle never had Oracle SOA in their whole stack. So in the trainings I have been giving these from last 5 years with BISP. We used to give 10G, we moved to 11G, and from the today's class we will be moving to Oracle SOA 12C. So the objectives of this training is that after this you should be very clear about today's objective is that we will talk about the course objective, we will talk about course agenda, we will describe service-oriented architecture, and we will talk about describe what is SOA architecture and what is Oracle SOA Suite 12C has. The course objectives are that after this training you should be able to know what is the meaning of SOA, and I will show you that SOA is an open source architecture and Oracle is one of the vendors, and that makes easy for you people to move to another SOA product if you have to ever do that. But Oracle is the world leader in SOA field, especially in the integration. They have around about 75% of the market share. Then you should be knowing what service component architecture is. It was introduced in 11G version, and in 12C it is carried on, and we will see what is there and what more enhancements has Oracle done in this architecture. You should be able to explain what mediators are, people. You should be able to monitor and manage the SOA Suite 12C, and you should be able to define and implement the business rules. Though some of the things are not very much what they are in the slide, I will like to go through what are we going to have the course curriculum in it. So we will start with the concept of SOAs, and in this, when I mean the concept of SOA, I mean the vanilla meaning of SOA, what SOA actually means and what open source term says about SOA. Then we will see what Oracle as a vendor provides you a tool which helps you in implementing the SOA suite at your end. We will go through the concepts of web services, WSDLs, XSDs, XMLs, and XSLDs. Since we get people from varied field, you may not be knowing XMLs and all those, so we will be teaching you that. Now need these of the basic concepts to work on, and we will work on that part, and I will show you what all is required to learn them, and we will go through each of these concepts. Then we will start with service component architecture. That is the new thing that was introduced in 11G, carried forward in 12C. People, mediators, human task, business rules, Oracle Service Bus, business activity monitoring, and also we will have in the last, we will also discuss little bit about AIA, that is application integration architecture. That is missing in this field line, but yeah, we will be having a small class on AIA because we have a feeling that going forward it will become little bit critical to know that. Today's agenda is overview of SOA, and before also starting coming to our demo, I would also like to explain that is some of the basic questions that people ask, like who this training is for, or who is this SOA for. So first thing, SOA is for anybody who has done any type of programming in his life. If you have done either in C, Java, C++, any time it is fine. Okay, the reason for that is that your logic building should be there. Okay? That is the meaning of it. Now we get the people who are SQL administrators, SQL guys, Oracle apps, technical functional analysts, and and they have all been able to understand the SOA. Now why the SOA people are going towards this is because with the advent of this cloud technologies and all those, organizations are making their ERPs and applications moving into cloud. But the basic thing that joins an organization is their integration. That is like they may have different clouds, like for their Salesforce, they may have, for their CRM, they may have a Salesforce, but for their for their HR, they may have a ULT Pro or ADPs or whatever. Now these are two different disparate things. Now who is the integrating? Who is the one who is integrating? Because there must be something your organization has it. So that is where the integrations come into picture, and integrations are gaining a lot of popularity because of the cloud thing. Okay. That's why Oracle SOA 12c, the C means the cloud over here. Let's go through what we are going to teach in all the things. We will, like I said, we will start with building of concepts. Again, one more thing I want to point over here is this is a hands-on training. That means this is like, when I say hands-on, it is like 70-30 ratio. 70% you have to work on the code. You have to write a code. 30% is what the training will be. We will be providing tutorials. We will be providing you end-to-end one project that you need to do, but you need to work with me to understand this concept. The first few sessions will be only on the theory, because we will be building your concept. But after the third class, we will start doing the tutorials and all those, and you will see as you will go along, the percentage of hands-on will increase and the theory will decrease. Okay, so this is where it is. And Oracle SOA, if you have to learn, you need to be thorough hands-on. In Oracle world, especially in the SOA world, there is no concept of a functional, no concept of a functional, technical, and all those. Here, the functional, technical, architecture is, or a developer is all one. If you have to be there, you have to know all of it, and that is the flavor of what integrations are all about. So, as I said, we will first start with building the concepts, and here we will talk about. I think we missed this O11G, it is 12C actually. We will start working out what is the meaning of SOA. First of all, very vanilla flavor what SOA means. Then we will talk about the concepts of how the Oracle as a tool provides you the things which helps you, which provides you a tool which helps you in implementing SOA in the organization. Under providing services for SOA, we will talk about the major ingredients or the building blocks of SOA, which is XML schemas, XSLTs, XMLs, WSDLs, and all those. These are the building blocks of any SOA system by any vendor. So we will teach you these concepts. If you know it, it's very good. If you don't know it, we will be touching base on each of that, and we will touching that part of it which you will be doing 99% of your time in that. Then we will talk about the concepts of SCA, that is Service Component Architecture, and we will see how, what has Oracle, why Oracle has to introduce SCA, and what is the benefit of SCA. And we will also see over here what is the enhancement that SCA did, what was the enhancement Oracle did when it moved from 11G to 12C standards. Under managing of, under managing and monitoring of SOA application, we will talk about how to debug, how to manage your manage or administer your SOA servers. So this is not an admin training. This is a developer slash architect slash functional training. So, so the thing is, we will be only touching base that part of admin that are required by these three people in their daily things. Okay, but if you have a queries or you have something about the admin and all those, you can always ask me after the class. Then we will talk about, we will start with Beeple. Beeple is the backbone of SOA, and we will see what more thing, or so Beeple was there in 11G, it was there in 10G, it is carried over to the 12C also. Some things have been changed a little bit, but the concept of Beeple is still same. So we will see what is Beeple and what all things have been added into the Beeple, and we will do that. Since Beeple is very vast, we will start. We will cover it to the in-depth. We will talk about how to create the variables, how to implement parallel flows in Beeple. We will talk about what is the concept of transformations in Beeple, how to manipulate the data and XPath, and we will see everything. That means we will see how to write logic in a Beeple. We will have some exercises on Beeple. Then people will continue, and we will talk about the very important concepts like adapters and fault handling. Now with 12C, the adapters in OSB and the other tools are also same. So the adapter concept is a generic concept that will be used throughout our SOA suite. SOA in 12C, and we will see that part. Mediators. Mediators is another important content in Oracle's SOA suite, and we will see that what mediators do, what is their capabilities are, and what things they can do. Human tasks. Human tasks are a task that are used for writing the workflows, and we will cover that part. Business rules. Business rules is another component which helps in keeping the volatile rules into your Oracle SOA suite, and we will see how easy it is, how flexible they are, and we will have some exercises on this thing. We will cover Oracle Service Bus. Now Oracle Service Bus is not a different install that used to be in 11. We will see how it has changed, and it is part of your same developer, and it is the part of the same SCA, and we will see how to use OSB in Oracle SOA suite. BAM, that is Business Activity Monitoring. This tool is again carried forward in 12C, and we will see that. So if you see the asterisk, it says that a end-to-end tutorial using people, ESP, BAM, business rules will be used. So we will be having one full case study that will be used throughout our training to so that you can understand how these different components actually work in a real time. This is a real-time project. The was written in 10G by Oracle. We changed it to 11G. Now we have moved it to 12C because the concept is pretty good and it enhances a lot of learning. So we are going to do that. Let's talk about a little very brief about what service-oriented architectures are. Service-oriented architectures are built by two words. One is services, another is architectures. So architectures means standards. Framework, you can say anything, and all frameworks have some standards. So first thing, SOA is a standard. Who has given the standard? It is given by the W3C consortium who has given it, which includes all the big wigs like Oracle, Deloitte, IBM, and all those. They have set out these standards, and their consortium likes to do that. Then another word is a service. A very simple meaning of a service is that anything that does a unique piece of work is a service. Now we see services throughout. We are surrounded by the services, like whenever you open any of the site. So you may see the weather of that place, or in fact on your smartphone you will see, it is always showing the weather, right? So now one thing is the smartphone company is not writing its own. It is always either connected to Yahoo or something, or Google or something they are using. So nobody knows what is written in there. They all know that if they send the zip code of that to the services, and they will get the weather of that place, and they can show you. Okay. So services meaning is very simple, that it's just a function call, but it's over the internet, and it has to follow the standards. Okay. So if we see the service paradigm, is always that there's a provider and there is a consumer. Consumer sends the request and gets a response. That's all. Like if provider is a Yahoo weather service, you send the zip code and you get the response of the weather of a place, and you can show it. So that's why on many of your websites you will see the weather coming, or a Google search there. Nobody has written the code. They are using the services. Now, if I join these two words and I make it SOA, or service-oriented architecture, what I mean is an architectural style for integrating loosely coupled software services. We know what a services are. We know what a architecture is. So that means the job of a SOA is to first thing is a standard, is to integrate the services in a standardized form. That is the meaning of it. And they have to be loosely coupled. What a loosely coupled means? A very simple example is, most of the time organizations buy different tools for different things. Like for their HR, they will buy PeopleSoft. For their order management, they will buy SAP. For the financials, they will buy Oracle Financials. And then they think, oh, we need to integrate with it, and they start integrating like this. Now these links of integrations can be in a very simple, can be flat file integration, like creating a file at one end and FTP to other. That can be the meaning. Now the problem with this integration is, tomorrow I bought a CRM system and I have to integrate with it. I have to again create those many link points. Plus, if I have to remove any system and I put it on a cloud, suppose PeopleSoft moves to a Oracle cloud, so I have to do these integrations again. That means I have to put the money again to do the stuff. That means it is a waste of my resources. So what SOA says is, and these type of systems are called tightly coupled systems. So what SOA said is, let's have the architecture still the systems like this. But SOA is a middleware and it stands in the middle just like a middleman, and everything is a service. Like we just said, that service is nothing but a unit piece of work. We don't know how the service is implemented. Only thing we know is that just call the service and get the values, get the data, and integration are done like this. Not only clean, but also a loosely coupled system. Tomorrow I remove anything and the cloud system, still my integrations remain same. That means my architecture still remains same. Also, if I have to add it, still my system doesn't go through that chain. That means less wastage of the resources, that means I will be putting less money into this, and that is the reason why the SOA is gaining so much popularity. Let's move ahead. A very simple concept of SOA. So first thing that you have to do in creating any SOA project is that you will have a portfolio of services. You will create a lot of services, and for that you can use Java, .NET, adapters you will see on Beeple and all those, you can do that. So you will have services. Then you can register them with UDDIs. What are UDDIs? They are just like your yellow pages. Now, if you have to go to any, you have to find the address of any plumber or an electrician in your neighborhood, how you do? You take the yellow pages book, you check it out, and you get his physical address as well as phone number. Same thing UDDI does. They keep the location of the services where they are depending on the content. That means they are just the indexing. So that is what UDDI is. We will see more when we will be in those chapters. Then you can use the enterprise service bus or mediators to route the data or virtualize the data. What does it mean? Routing means that sending from one source to multiple targets. Like suppose there is a Siebel system which is to send the data to multiple places. One is Oracle apps, another is to SAP. So this sending of multiple places is called the routing. Then ESBs also do the virtualization. Now what a virtualization means is that end systems should not know who is the source of data, and that conforms to just before I said that even if I remove Siebel and put Salesforce, my integration should not be changed. So ESBs help us in implementing it. In SOA, there are two ESB products. One is Oracle Service Bus, another is Mediators, and we will see that. Now, to orchestrate the services, we have to use Beeple. What is Beeple? What is orchestration? A very simple meaning of orchestration means it like an orchestra. We have all seen in our daily life orchestra is that there are people. There is a center person who is standing in the middle, and he directs all of the musicians to play some type of tune. This is what an orchestra is. So Beeple also does the same thing. It orchestrates the services to perform a business function. Like suppose there is a fund services credit check that you have to do the credit check, and then you have to debit the person's account if the available balance is there. So what Beeple does is Beeple creates the third service or the central service which first calls the credit card service to get whether the credit card is valid or not. If it's a valid, then it's called the debit credit card service. So if you see, this is what orchestration is. So I will prove you throughout that people only orchestrates, nothing more than that it does. Web applications can be there to call the services. It can be ADF, JSF, JSP, anything can call your services and do that. So these are very general concept how a project is implemented in the SOA environment. Let's take a little bit look on what are the tools are there in 12C. Though this architecture is little bit changed, and we will discuss in our classes that what is little bit changed from 11G to 12C, but the components are still same. The first component is that mediators. The job of mediators is to route the data, transform the data. Then comes the business rules, which job is to keep the volatile rules. Volatile rules are like a customer is a platinum customer, give him 10% discount. So this 10% discount can change to 15% on Thanksgiving Day or something like that. So we have to keep these type of rules. Beeple is an orchestrating engine, we just discussed. Human workflows are used for the places where you have some human intervention in a business process. Like you applied for a leave, it goes to your manager for approval. So until unless your manager approves, you are not going to, the leave will not be debited from your account. So these type of scenarios human workflows do. They are all connected to service infrastructure, which is a web logic layer, and a lot database is there in that. Then there is a B2B. B2Bs are used for doing the e-commerce transactions like HL7, EDIs, and all those. BAM is a monitoring tool which is used to monitor the data into the SOA suite. Like a call center employee wants to know how many calls are coming to a system. That means he wants to get the reports in real time. Then BAM is used. MDS stands for metadata repository, which is used for sharing the components between the systems. Registries job is a UDDI. We just discussed about registries and UDDIs, and that they are kept for indexing. EM and SOA consoles are used for our enterprise managers, and their job is to manage the whole SOA suite. It is used by architects, it is used by all the people, by developers, administrators, and they use it for different perspectives, and we will see that. WS policy manager job is for the policies, and you have securities and all those, then WSM is used. JDeveloper will be your IDE that you will be used for throughout now. Now there is, since it's a 12C, everything is in JDeveloper that you have to do. You will be developing